As long as we continue to remember him, his light will continue to shine through us all. Nolan, we love you. We'll continue to fight for you.
Wells was laid to rest last week. A source tells ABC News on the day of the funeral, his mother sent his friends legal notice to expect a lawsuit.
Nothing further from the Wells family about those impending lawsuits. Meanwhile, the district attorney has asked for patience in the investigation, saying minimal releases of information are meant to protect the integrity of the case. Officials have provided no timeline for when it will be complete. Guys.
3 words. That's all it took to turn one boat's emergency call into the most shared piece of evidence in this entire case. Is he dead? Millions of people believe they heard it buried in the background of that call. And tonight, the FBI has finally identified the voice everyone's been arguing about. You need to hear this, because the answer is not what the internet expected. Here's what we're covering in the next 10 minutes. First, you're going to hear exactly how a routine dispatch recording became a viral murder theory overnight. Second, you're going to hear what a federal forensic comparison actually found when someone finally checked the audio frame by frame. Stay with us, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why the FBI got involved at all, and it has almost nothing to do with what you think. If you're new here, hit subscribe now, because this case is moving fast and we're breaking every development the moment it's confirmed. Nolan Wells was 18 years old. On the 4th of July, he went to Horn Island with a group of friends. He never came home. His body was recovered 2 days later, just off that island. His family has spent every day since demanding answers nobody has given them. Then the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources released a dispatch call, a frantic, chaotic call made from the boat his friends were on. A teenager begging for help because the boat was taking on water. For days, it sat there as background noise. Then TMZ enhanced it. And overnight, everything changed. Voices calling out Nolan's name. Someone yelling to check his chest. And underneath it all, 3 words that broke the internet. Is he dead? But what if that phrase was never about Nolan at all? Before you hear who the FBI says was actually speaking, you need to hear what they were really listening to. The original recording was never clean. Before it reached the public, the Marine Resources Department stripped it. Account numbers, phone numbers, identifying metadata, all of it redacted. That means the full, untouched original has never once been heard outside the investigation. Then TMZ released its enhanced version. And that's the file that went around the world. Digital forensics expert Robert Fried sat down and did something nobody else had done. He pulled up the original file and placed it directly against TMZ's enhanced version. Fried says the 2 files don't match, not even close. Here's the promise we made you in the first minute. This is it. The TMZ version runs a full 20 seconds longer than the original recording. 20 seconds that shouldn't exist. Beyond that, the digital fingerprint of the file is completely different, which means it was processed, altered, or rebuilt in a way that separates it from the source material entirely. Fried says he cannot corroborate a single phrase the internet built its entire theory on. Not, is he dead? Not check his chest? Not wake up? None of it holds up against the original file. So the recording that convinced millions of people something happened to Nolan on that boat is an enhanced copy of an already redacted file, with a fingerprint that doesn't match the source. Sit with that for a second. If the audio isn't reliable, then everything built on top of it has to be questioned too. Which brings us to the question nobody's asked yet. If those voices weren't about Nolan being heard on that boat, then where was Nolan when that recording was made? Bridge. The recording just got a lot more complicated. Now you need to know exactly who was on that boat and who wasn't. Warren Hudson was one of Nolan's friends on Horn Island that day. He's now gone on record with the most detailed first-hand account anyone has given. Here's what Hudson says actually happened, point by point. The bilge pump on the boat completely failed. The boat was actively taking on water in open sound. The group was scrambling to keep themselves afloat. One friend was screaming Nolan's name, trying to get him aboard before they had to leave. Nolan chose to stay behind on the island with a girl he'd been talking to. Hudson's account means the panic on that recording came from a boat in a real sinking emergency, not from something happening to Nolan. And it doesn't stop there. 2 witnesses reportedly told TMZ directly that they saw Nolan still standing on Horn Island after his friend's boat had already left. If that holds up, Nolan was never on the vessel when any of those background voices were recorded at all. The timeline lines up. Hudson's account lines up, the witness claims line up, every confirmed detail is pointing the same direction, away from the viral theory. But that raises a bigger question. If Nolan wasn't on that boat, and this was never about him, why is the FBI still involved in this case at all? Tell us in the comments, do you think the viral theory should have spread as far as it did before any of this was verified? The theory is falling apart, but that just makes the FBI's involvement harder to explain, until you hear what they actually confirmed. Here's the part of this story most people got completely wrong. The FBI confirmed directly to ABC News that its involvement in this case is focused on interstate threats, not the death, not the audio, threats made against people connected to this case, serious enough and crossing enough state lines to trigger federal jurisdiction. Once the enhanced audio went viral, people became convinced something criminal happened. And some of those people didn't stop at commenting online. They went after real people connected to this case with threats serious enough to bring in federal agents. The FBI's own statement was direct. This is federal support, not federal command. The Jackson County Sheriff's Office remains the lead agency on the underlying investigation. That distinction matters. And if you want to understand exactly how this case unfolds from here, subscribe now so you don't miss the next confirmed update. Former FBI Special Agent Jennifer Coffindaffer reviewed the evidence publicly available in this case. She says what she's seen points toward an accident, but she is not closing the door on anything until the full picture is in front of her. Think about what that means. A viral theory, built on an altered recording, convinced enough people that they crossed state lines with threats, and pulled federal agents into protecting people who never asked to be part of this story. The audio mystery has an explanation now. But the Wells family is still living inside a much bigger one. Do you think the online reaction to this case caused more harm than good? Let us know below. The audio is explained. The FBI's role is explained. But the one thing this family actually needs is still missing. 2 autopsies have now been conducted on Nolan Wells. Neither one has given his family a final answer. The state autopsy remains pending. The independent autopsy, arranged through attorney Ben Crump and conducted by forensic pathologist Dr. Roger Mitchell, came back with both cause and manner of death listed as undetermined. Mitchell says advanced decomposition, combined with a prior official examination, significantly limited what could be established the second time around. Undetermined is not an answer. It's a door still standing open. The investigation is now headed toward a grand jury referral once it concludes. Nolan's phone is about to undergo a joint review. The family's independent investigators and law enforcement examining it together for the first time. Around 60 witnesses have already been interviewed as investigators piece together Nolan's final hours, hour by hour. So here's where this actually leaves us. The viral theory about that audio has been dismantled, point by the people who were actually there and the experts who actually checked. But dismantling a theory is not the same as solving a case. The Wells family still doesn't have a cause of death. They still don't have a final autopsy result. They still have a grand jury that hasn't received a case yet. We are staying on every confirmed development in this case as it happens. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because the moment the grand jury moves, or that autopsy comes back, we will bring it to you first. Before you go, what do you think actually happened to Nolan on that island? Drop your theory in the comments. We read every one.